We'd like to start out by thanking our valuable sponsors. Sense of Satisfaction by Cricket is the place for all your fragrance needs. Plus, she's got products to heal what ails your skin and your hair. Shop at scentsbycricket.com. Special thanks to our valued sponsor, John Travis, a financial coach and certified Kingdom advisor with Richard Young Associates, a registered investment advisor. Thanks goes to Anna Patterson, my sister in the Lord who faithfully gives to this ministry every month. And to our newest sponsor, LaToya Gerard of Preach the Word Worldwide Network. She is a valued sponsor and a major encourager regarding this ministry. We need and would love to have you as a sponsor. Absolutely no gift is too small. Please note the info regarding giving throughout and at the end of the show, and help us spread these testimonies around the world. Please note that the views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily the viewpoints of our sponsors. It's time to hear the story, make the connection, learn the lesson, and gain the wisdom. Are you ready? Let's get charged and be changed. The SisterSpeak+BrotherBreak show. Conversations on grace, healing, and deliverance. This is Marcy Bush. Come on, let's journey together.
Right. So it's better for us to be honest with him, to be honest with ourselves, and to process through the emotion. Right. Don't just, because I almost feel like you can stack them up. If you feel that anger or you feel that sadness and you keep sidestepping it and you never sit in it and get out a good cry and then feel that,
right,
okay, and move on.
Right.
If it happens 3 days in a week, but you get up and move on.
Right.
But if you keep just sidestepping it and busy yourself with something else, that thing can roll up on you in a way that you don't expect. So I encourage you. Allow yourself to feel it, sit in it for a minute. Don't wallow in it, but sit in it.
Right.
And process it.
Right.
And say, okay, what's this? Okay, what am I mad about? Okay, why do I feel this way? Well, was it really that way? And talk to God.
Right.
Talk to the Holy Spirit. He's our counselor. Right. He's our comforter.
Right.
But you're allowed. God gave you the emotions.
Right.
He's not going to punish you for feeling them.
Right.
He won't punish you for feeling.
And a part of, I don't know if I mentioned it or if I said it, that's like my emotions, some days they're all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I think I failed to say today was the guilt part for me. Like, what if I didn't hear him making a sound? Or what didn't I do? Or did I not do something enough?
Mm-hmm.
What did I miss? Because he lived 22 years.
Right.
So I'm feeling like, what was happening at the time when he passed that I missed? Or why was he born that way? Was it something I did back before he was born? My mind was going back to going back through all those stages. Like I should have done more.
Have you resolved that guilt, or does it still show up?
Actually, I think I kind of resolved it. Bishop helped me resolve it.
Okay.
With some conversations I had with him, and that he had with me and Maurice. That, and he said it to us that stop blaming yourself. Y'all did everything.
Yes.
God wanted y'all to do.
Yes.
Y'all were the right parents, like you just said, for Q. So don't think on, it was something y'all did. Whether it be before he was born or during the years that he lived. He said, y'all done everything. He said,
exactly.
Because we had never said that to him, to Bishop. But he knew, the Holy Ghost knew what we needed to hear. Because we both was wondering, what did we miss? Or what didn't we do? Or what didn't we do enough of?
Sitting here talking to you, it just came to me that you and Maurice together had 2 exceptional kids. And they're exceptionally different.
Yeah.
But 2 exceptional kids. Just like you didn't necessarily do anything to make Deshauna exceptional, you didn't do anything to make Q exceptional in the way that he was.
I never heard
God
of that
made
before.
them both
Right.
exceptional, and he chose to bring them through you.
Right. He did. I never looked at it that way before.
That was God's decision.
Right.
All of it
Right.
was his decision. And
Right.
he chose how to teach the world and y'all lessons through Q.
Right. Because I did, we both, me and him, me and my husband, we have learned, and we still learning, a lot through Q and how he lived, how he operated, how he functioned, and how he communicated with others to get them to know exactly what he wanted or what he didn't want,
Right.
what he didn't like. You know, he did all that.
Yes.
But since you just said that about Deshauna, it's the same. When she started out, when she was, 2 years old, a year old, A honor roll, AB honor roll, telling you exactly how it is. I mean, as far as what you need to know as a 3-year. I remember. So for her to, like you just said, be exceptional in her way, she was also exceptional in his way, because every school,
Yes.
every doctor,
Yes.
every therapist, every person, the family, everybody he came in contact with. Hey, little man.
Yes.
What's up, little man?
Right.
All the younger people at the time when I had him, when we was at the church, and you could witness to this. They would come and get him when he was small, take him out my arms, take him out his little carrier,
Yep.
take him all across the church and go sit with him.
He made his mark.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
And he was only a couple of months old, and he still made his mark all the way until he was 22.
Because we're spirit first.
Yeah, yeah.
So his spirit
Yeah.
spoke to other people's spirits.
Right.
And just like there were so many times when you say, you thought on that day, was there something I didn't hear? Or was there some? But how many times, innumerable, I'm sure, that you did attend to something that you hadn't heard or wouldn't have noticed, and just went in and, you recognized something, or you caught something, and so if God had wanted you to that day, he would have.
Right.
He would have highlighted it.
Yes.
So, I'm glad, like you said, that you have laid that laid that to rest, because he completed his assignment.
Yeah.
He completed his assignment.
Yeah.
And I know that, it's still painful. I know, like I said, grief is something that comes up, when you least expect it at times.
Right.
It will grab your attention.
Right.
Work through it in that space and in that place. And then get your breath and move on.
Right.
As you're able. But be honest, and don't be afraid if you do need counseling.
Right.
Don't be afraid to get it. Don't be afraid to get into a support group.
Right.
If you need to.
Right.
Because getting in a support group, I'm sure you would help others as much as they would help you.
Right.
Because that's what the support is about. Like, it's not just about somebody coming saying, do this, do this, do that.
Right.
It is about having people who understand in a similar way
Right.
what it is that you've been through.
Right.
So I encourage you, if you ever feel the need to do it, do it.
And I have been considering that. Lately, I've been considering it a good bit. More so than like when he first passed away. Or even because of some of the other stuff I've been through in my life. Even before then, it's like I'm thinking about seeking counsel, like as we speak.
Yes.
With, but just and I've made plans to. I just haven't done it yet.
Yes, because sometimes it's just the space you need to be able to unpack. Sometimes we tend to protect even from ourselves the people that we love, and so we're never 100% truthful about what it did to us because we're afraid that somebody will look at them differently or will look at us differently.
Right.
But sometimes when you sit across from somebody you don't know, they don't know you, and you can just tell the bare, honest truth,
right,
and truly unpack that thing,
right,
get it out and out in the open. There's a freedom that comes with it.
Right.
So I encourage you, pray about it and then do it. Don't if it keeps coming to you, you know how you talk about that something told me?
Yeah.
Sometimes, like you said, that something could be the Holy Ghost saying, this is the way. Because if he told us to go to a doctor, we would go to a physical doctor.
Right.
A medical doctor for that.
Right.
Oftentimes we will. We've gotten to the place where we will see about ourselves.
Right.
But if you need to go to a counselor, a therapist, whatever, it could be the Holy Ghost prodding you to go.
Right.
Because this is a way for you to unpack some things.
Right.
All right. So, Pat, in thinking back, I know there were, at the beginning of the conversation, you talked about being the oldest.
Yeah.
And I know more recently, probably since last year sometime last year, I've witnessed myself where it seems like you have stepped into another level of freedom. Just seeing you, I see the freedom at church. I see there's a difference. I know sometimes our roles, our functions, as Bishop would call them, our functions can consume us. And I heard how you even talked at the beginning, like I said, about being the oldest of 4 sisters and leading the way, being the one to set the tone.
Right.
And I kind of want you to speak to that. How have you been able to, because I think in the freedom that I'm seeing, I believe, is that you are stepping into the real Patricia.
Right.
Stepping into who you are. What are some of the things that you've had to do in order to find you?
The point you just made about being the older sister of the 4 and stepping into the real Patricia, I am glad you see and witnessing now from, like you said, about a year ago maybe, or last year to now. Thank you for seeing the difference. I've never been one of the ones that good at performing.
Right.
But I've always been good at leading. So for my function as a wife, I've freed myself up as Patricia to be Patricia, the wife, well, Patricia, the woman first.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
yes,
Patricia,
yes.
the woman first. And then Patricia, the wife. And then Patricia, the mom. And the sister and therefore. So if I stay true to being free as Patricia, it's going to free up those other roles that other positions that I have.
Right.
So mentally, spiritually, and physically, about a year ago, maybe, I found myself, I didn't know it at the time, feeling good being me. Meaning I don't have to put on a persona. I don't have to act. I don't have to protect. I mean, like others.
Right.
I know my son's going on to heaven, and I know he's in a better place. So I don't have to fit that role to make sure Q's okay. Because Q told me, Mom, I'm okay. So if he's okay, and he said, I'm okay.
Right.
So I'm going to be okay.
Yes.
And I am okay.
Yes.
So being free as Patricia, I learned how to, well, I already have, cut off a lot of strings.
Yes.
Attachments.
Yes.
Physically and mentally. That I don't have to do that.
Yes.
I don't have to do all this, make sure all this is okay. I don't have to make sure this person's okay.
Right.
I don't have to make sure that person's okay.
Right.
Because now I need to learn how to do Patricia. And I'm going to state her. Come hell or high water. And I don't care who don't like it.
Right.
But what I've noticed, some people don't know how to handle the freed up Patricia. But that's not my problem.
Right. Right.
That's not my problem.
That's right.
That's their problem. But I don't mean it in an arrogant way.
Right. No.
I'm talking about in a
No.
spiritual way, but also in the natural. Because it's helping me be me.
Right.
And nobody can beat me
Nobody.
being me.
Nobody. As you're talking, it reminds me of when you said when you were separated from Maurice and you knew freedom.
Yes.
And now it's like you're finding that true freedom isn't really even attached to anybody else.
Right.
Back then you felt like you were free because he wasn't present.
Right.
But now you know freedom whether people are present or not, because the freedom comes from within. The freedom comes from God.
Exactly.
And, talking to that, speaking to specifically to that sibling role, and we talked a little bit about it off camera, how as a child, when you're the oldest, you feel that responsibility.
Right.
But once we step into a certain age group, and I can say this because I've seen other people, and it's almost like an oldest child syndrome that people have, that they continue to take on the onus of being protector and keeper and making sure that they lead these people in the right way and blah blah blah. But when everybody's adults, hey, we're all on the same page.
Exactly.
We're all on the same page.
Exactly.
And you have to take that off yourself.
Right.
So that then you can enjoy just being you. Because they never get all of you. They never get the real you.
No.
If you stay in that position, because you always feel like, I got to show them the right, I got to do the right thing. You can't just be you and realize that we can learn from each other.
Right.
And what you teach people. I remember a bishop telling us, because I've heard people ask about, what's the best way you can help your child, especially if you were one way when they were growing up or one way during part of their lives and now you're a different person. And he said, let them see you like being free. Let them see you living right.
Right.
And so more than your words, more than your past protection, more than any of that, when they see you living free, whether it's sisters, cousins, friends, whoever, they should want what you have.
Right.
They should want that same type of freedom.
Exactly.
That's that leader thing.
Right.
And that's just by you being you.
Right.
When you're a leader, you don't have to say, follow me.
Right.
When you're a leader, people just follow.
Right.
And so I believe that people are getting the opportunity to see the real Patricia and that their lives are being changed by that. And so I encourage you, keep delving into your freedom, keep finding you, keep peeling back the layers, all those things, like just keep moving forward.
Right.
It's like now this is your time.
Yes. Yes.
This is your time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you have to, I mean, because your children are grown.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's your time.
Exactly.
So, live.
And when you say live, Marcy, that's exactly what I am doing. As far as my roles that I have, my positions, Maurice don't have the same wife he had last year.
Right.
Or the year before.
Right.
He don't even have the same wife he had January of 2023. Because as time go on, and I'm getting freed up even more.
Right.
He's getting to learn the new and improved. New and improved Patricia.
Yes.
Which is a better Patricia for him as a wife, as his wife. Because, you know, I'm not the needy type, which I was never that needy type. I'll, you know, go get it for myself however I had to get it, you know. But, and I also is not a weak person.
Right.
But as far as being me as Patricia, I do have feelings, you know. I have wants, needs. But what I gotta have is Jesus and God. Because if I don't have what he said he'll give us, he'll supply all of our needs according.
That's right.
So if I got a need and my positions as a sister, mom, wife, if that can't be filled, then the person that fills it is God. Now they got each of them in their position connected to me for a specific reason.
Right.
But if they can't come through for me like I need them to, then I know who can.
Yep.
So I can't depend on the Bible.
You know where
says,
your help comes from.
Exactly. He said, cast all our cares on him.
Yes.
I can't put it on a man.
That's right.
Or a woman.
That's right.
You know? I've done that before, and I've always been back down. I'm not doing that.
At our best, we're human.
Exactly. Because I thought you were there for me. I thought you said you got me.
And I know God even has it a way where even when people in their best intentions try to do it, he has a way of reminding us that he is the only God.
Exactly.
Sometimes we put too much stock in people.
Right, right.
Like I said, when at best we're human.
Right.
And God has a way of saying, hello, me.
Exactly.
Remember, I'm the one.
Exactly.
Nobody is all laughter and smiles all the time.
All the time. Correct.
Everybody goes through. Life happens to everybody.
Exactly.
And I think I've seen you with a group of friends though that I think they got your back.
Yeah.
Lean on your people.
Yes.
Lean on your people. When you need them, let them know you need them.
Exactly.
Y'all develop your little code or something.
Yes.
Let them know. Don't just laugh and talk with them. Let them know.
Exactly.
All right, send one up for me today.
Exactly.
Be honest. God has placed some people around you that I believe you trust. So lean on them.
I'm glad you saw that and see that because, and like Bishop said, we all go to the same church, but we all don't have that fellowship.
Right.
They have the brotherhood at our church, and we have the sisterhood. So I got my crew. They got my back.
Yes.
And when us 5 get together, there's 5 of us. When us 5 get together, we get together.
Yes.
And we know we got each other's back, and we got each other's best interests at heart, physically, spiritually,
yes,
and emotionally.
Yes.
I didn't plan to say as much as I did, but when when the Holy Ghost start talking, and your emotions start flowing, it'll bring out everything that you wanted or you didn't know you was gonna say. You didn't plan to say.
Right.
But what I really want to say is that I really hope that this helps somebody, because a lot of what I said today, I've never said before out in the open, because I've been ashamed, embarrassed, got this face on like Pat Brightharp got it all together, or Trish, big sister, Mama got it all together. I don't always have it together.
Right.
But now I know how to get it together.
Yes. Yes.
I know how to get it together.
Yes.
And I know the person who has to, the person that's in charge of making sure I get it together. Because we getting the teaching.
Yes.
So I'm trying to apply every word I get.
Yes.
And I miss the mark a lot, don't get me wrong.
We all do.
I ain't perfect.
Right.
I get crazy. I get stupid. But
not one of us is perfect.
But I quickly get it together. But I really appreciate you having me here and having a place where I can voice this out and open.
Well, I thank you for your transparency. I do.
It was a time I wouldn't have said none of this to nobody. I mean, y'all see the Pat Brightharp at church.
Right.
But y'all don't see the Pat Brightharp at home.
Nope.
God does.
Right.
Y'all don't.
Right.
So, I'm not going to be wearing two different faces.
Right.
You got a church face, and then you got an at-home face, or a street face, however you want to call it. But just knowing when to make the transition, I hope, and I pray I can help somebody else.
I know you have. Like I said, I think it starts, you helped the people in this room. And I told you, I pray that, including you.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't sit back. I think I said this with Cecil, I believe, which Cecil was one of the earlier shows. But sometimes we just don't realize, we don't stop to look at what we've been through.
Right.
We just keep it moving.
Right.
We keep going forward. We made it through that. And even when we say about my soul, look back and wonder, we'll glimpse over, oh God, yeah, you brought me through that. But we don't sit in it.
Right.
We don't process it. We don't remember how lonely it got or how dark it got.
Yes.
And God swooped down.
Yes.
And grabbed us. And so sometimes just sitting there talking through it allows us to revisit and remember just how good God's been to us.
Right.
So
He's brought me a long way from where I started to where I am now. I thank God, because I couldn't have done it without Him. I can't do it without Him.
Right.
I'm talking on a
We cannot.
daily. Yeah.
We
on
cannot.
a daily.
And thank you for joining us for the Sister Speak Brother Break show. I want to ask you to share this conversation. Share it on your social media. Share it with someone you love. You never know what somebody's going through. You never know what it is that was said that could help someone else. So just share it. And I pray that it's been a blessing to you. And then I want to ask you to join us the same place, same time next week for the Sister Speak Brother Break show. Be blessed.
Thanks so much for joining us today. If you've been blessed by today's show, feel free to let us know. And if you'd like to sow into this ministry, become a sponsor, or contact us, you can reach us at 803-221-0169. Or you can email us at thessbbshow@gmail.com. Let's continue this journey together.